Why is the presidential election frozen at a coin flip? For Democrats, this whole 2024 campaign is beginning to feel like that moment in Star Wars when the good guys get trapped by the Death Star.
That's no moon. It's a space station.
Donald Trump is no moon, but he could be an evil space station that's got us all stuck in his tractor beam. So, what's going on? Why are things stuck? And most important, should Democrats be panicking about this?
So, Professor, would you say it's time for everyone to panic?
Yes, I would, Kent.
Let me just tell you right now, hint, the answer is no. By the way, this video is an excerpt drawn from my new article in Newsweek. If you want all the details and numbers and things that didn't make it into this video, you can check it out on newsweek.com. So let's start with what's going on. The TLDR is that Kamala Harris is crushing Donald Trump in everything that campaigns do to win elections. But we're not seeing any movement in the polls. What I mean is that when you look at how badly she's out-communicating Trump, it's pretty staggering. Harris has a 3-to-1 advertising advantage on Google, 16-to-1 on Facebook, and in September, Democrats crushed Republicans on television by 117,000 more ads. And the same thing is true with everything in the campaign: offices, phone cards, postcards, buttons, door knocking. Harris has a total campaign that's about 3 times the size of Trump's and way more volunteers. But ever since an initial surge in the polls after President Biden withdrew from the race and after another little bump she got following the Democratic convention, Harris's polling crested on September 1st. And ever since then, the race has been pretty much stuck in the mud. Even with all those advantages, she's just not gaining ground. So let's move on to the next question. Why are we so stuck? There are 3 potential explanations. One is that ads don't work that well anymore. One of the biggest studies ever done on all the things that campaigns do, including ads, found that, quote, the best estimate of the effects of campaign contact and advertising on Americans' candidate choices in general elections is 0. To be clear, some ads work. And ads in general are more effective for races that are further down the ballot, like Congress or state legislature. But we've seen this movie before in the presidential race, and it's pretty convincing. Hillary Clinton had a 3-to-1 advantage in TV ads down the stretch in 2016, but she lost. And she lost based on voters who made up their minds late while all that communicating was happening. In 2020, Democrats ran more than 200,000 more ads in the presidential race than Republicans in the top 6 swing states after Labor Day. And go back, look for yourself. In the polling averages in those states, there was not much movement. In those 6 swing states after Labor Day, there was just never any obvious effect from all of the advertising. Explanation number 2, there is actually movement happening, but we can't see it yet. Now, it could be that all the pollsters who are trying to guess what the likely electorate will be aren't quite getting it right. In fact, because they underestimated Trump's vote margin in 2016 and pretty badly in 2020, they're now using a controversial technique to try to weight their polls more in Trump's direction. The thing is, that could be wrong, or there could be other things going on this time. And even if they got everything right, we still won't know what's going to happen with the very late deciders until they make up their minds in the final 10 days. If you're undecided at this point, chances are you're still going to be undecided up till the end. So again, we might just not be seeing those changes yet. Explanation number 3 is something that I think we all know is probably true. There's just not that much more room to move in this race. America is super polarized, and media coverage of Donald Trump tends to sanitize all of his extremes that might make voters change their minds. So voters see this as a choice between Coke and Pepsi instead of Coke and rat poison. What's the answer among all those 3 explanations? It's probably a little bit of all of them. There isn't a lot of room to maneuver in a polarized electorate. Polling is probably not quite capturing things right. And all of that money that's spent on ads is probably delivering diminishing marginal returns. So let's get to the final piece. Should Democrats be panicking about all this? The short answer is no, we shouldn't. Look, as much as we all believe that the choice between a sane, normal, competent, forward-looking Kamala Harris and a deranged con man, convicted felon, lunatic in cognitive decline like Donald Trump should be a no-brainer, given everything we know, it's just not that shocking that the race is where it is. But yes, of course we should all be worried. That's not a bad thing. Being worried about things that are really important and could go badly is totally the right human reaction to have. And the more we can get our fellow Americans to worry a bit and be focused on this, the better off we'll all be.